If you watch my channel, you've probably heard me talk about the Silver Act. It was big news, it was extremely interesting, but apparently Congress wasn't finished because now they've introduced another bill involving silver called the Precious Metals Parity Act, which is Bill HR 9060, and this one could change how Wall Street and major investment funds are able to invest in precious metals. And that's not even the only one. There's also a brand new federal bill called the Critical Mineral and Extraction Tax Parity Act, which specifically includes silver and could give American silver producers access to a major federal production tax credit. So now we're looking at multiple pieces of legislation in Washington touching silver and precious metals at the exact same time. And then to top all of this off, Florida has now made gold and silver legal tender. Think about how unusual this is. Congress is looking at changing how major investment funds can gain exposure to precious metals. Another bill is trying to incentivize domestic silver production. And at the state level, gold and silver are literally being recognized as money again. These aren't three random silver headlines, they're all pointing in the same direction. The government's treatment of silver and precious metals is changing. So in the beginning of this video, we're going to start with the Precious Metals Parity Act because this one has a really interesting Wall Street angle. And then in the latter half of the video, we're going to go into the brand new Critical Mineral and Extraction Tax Parity Act because there's a much bigger story developing around silver in Washington right now, and I want to explore it. Alright, Silver Stackers, welcome back to your daily debrief. My name is Silver Slayer, and let's just jump straight into it. We have three different topics to talk about in this video to break down and dissect, and they are all different, but they are all relevant and intertwined together, talking about the government and the state's involvement intertwining precious metals, and it's very interesting. I want to play a game though. If you've never heard of these two new bills, then you have to subscribe, because I guarantee that I'm the only one that's mentioned this or talked about it. Maybe some other people have. I'm not saying I'm the only one, but if you've never heard of these two bills, then you got to subscribe. That's the rule. The first bill is the Precious Metals Parity Act. It's Bill HR 9060. And none of these are the Silver Act. The Silver Act is old news. The other bill is the Critical Mineral and Extraction Tax Parity Act. And this is brand new. This is a new bill. And then also, Florida has approved gold and silver as legal tender. And if you haven't heard of that, then you gotta subscribe and like the video. So let's jump into the first one, which is the Precious Metals Parity Act. The Critical Mineral and Extraction Tax Parity Act is a little more interesting. Well, they're both interesting, and these could be very relevant to you. And if you live in Florida, even more relevant. But let's just jump into it. Make sure you like the video, comment down below what you think about this, and hopefully you're already subscribed. The Precious Metals Parity Act is a bill that aims to change how certain investment income is treated under U.S. tax law as it pertains to regulated investment companies. Here are the key points of what the bill proposes. So this is an adjustment to tax code. And by the way, okay, let's do this first. So you kind of already got an idea of what the bill is. So it's basically using income or precious metals as a form of income, but this is a better way. This guy explains it like for families, like what this would actually do for Americans. So here we go. As families continue to face rising costs and economic uncertainty, they deserve every tool available to build wealth, protect their savings, and prepare for retirement. And this is said from Rep. Horsford. The Precious Metals Parity Act removes outdated barriers that have limited access to investment options that can help working families diversify their portfolios and hedge against inflation. At a time when too many Americans are worried about their financial future, this legislation gives people greater flexibility to plan ahead, build long-term security, and keep more control over how they invest in themselves and their families. So this would help families protect their savings from inflation, market volatility, and economic uncertainty, expand access to investment and retirement tools that support long-term financial security, increase demand for domestically produced precious metals, and support American mining jobs, and to ensure American investors have access to the same investment opportunities available in competing global markets, including China. So yeah. Now, there is no effective date yet, but once enacted, this changes the proposed bill would apply to taxable years that begin after the date of the law's enactment. So yeah, now, and here's someone else mentioning, this is from LinkedIn, the Precious Metals Parity Act has officially been introduced into the House of Representatives. This marks an important step forward in the effort to modernize the treatment of physical precious metals under U.S. tax policy and advance greater parity for investors. Now, this is the one I want to talk about. This is the interesting one. This just came out 4 days ago. This is very big news. Senator Curtis proposes a bill to cut U.S. dependence on foreign supply of critical minerals. New bill adds copper, lead, phosphate to list of critical minerals, lifts penalty on coal. Silver is also involved and mentioned in this. So the fight between the U.S. and China over critical minerals continues as two Republican U.S. senators, Utah Senator John Curtis and Montana Senator Stephen Daines, introduced the Critical Mineral and Extraction Tax Parity Act last week. Now, I want to pause real quick because this is the third bill about precious metals. You had the Silver Act, which is the System Integrity Through License Vault Expansion and Resilience Act. It's Bill H.R. 8007 or 8001. And it's basically mentioning why the COMEX has all of the vaults are within 150 miles of the New York COMEX. And what if there was a national security? What we need vaults all over America, not just in one little area. And they're mentioning that for national security purposes and yada yada. So that was the first one. And then we also have the Precious Metals Parity Act was second, and now this one just came out. And in between that, you also had Fort Knox being audited. So, and if I'm not mistaken, someone actually went there and said that all the gold was there, but I don't know who's going to count down that much. But anyways, and who's going to truly believe if he's being honest or not. But then you had that. Plus, there's other things too, like silver being added to the critical minerals list this year. But there's a lot that's happening. And Florida now being added, is adding gold and silver as legal tender. So critical minerals show up everywhere in modern society, from lithium batteries and smartphones to phosphate and in fertilizer critical for food production. There is no corner of the economy that doesn't depend on at least a subset from the list of critical minerals. However, China controls roughly 40 to 90% of the world's processing capacity. Think about how dangerous that is. Like, China has essentially taken over the entirety of the most important minerals and left the rest of the world hanging to dry. And it's very important when, with war going on, silver wins wars. And then you have Trump even admitting that we are dangerously low on weaponry. And silver is massive in weaponry. So these minerals, which is the Center for Strategic and International Studies reported, some U.S. senators want the country to be more self-sufficient in mining such resources, which is the reason behind Curtis's new bill. This is important. And I actually knew this was happening behind the scenes before this bill came out, way before this bill came out, because, and I think the first person that told me this was when I interviewed Galen McNamara from Silver 47. And, these are mining companies, junior mining companies, and Ian Harris, which was the CEO of Copper Giant. I know Galen for sure, he admitted this. I think Ian Harris also might have, but basically Galen was saying that the government is investing into mining companies, heavily investing into mining companies and working with mining companies. And then you had Trump actually just meet with 8 mining executives last week as well. As I just remembered that also happened. So we're definitely trying to figure this out. It kind of reminds me of, it's just a short little story that you probably, you might know this, but back in the 70s and 80s and probably early 90s, the United States used to make their Eagles in-house because we were producing, roughly 30, 40, 50 million Eagles per year. And then something changed. Instead of making them in-house, we started outsourcing. And that really shot us in the foot. Now, it was cheaper to do that, but when we started becoming more reliant and other sources like the Sunshine Mint, where we got most of our silver planters from, started working with other people, it shot us in the foot. And that's why in 2020, 2021, 2022, and 2023, you had so much, it was horrible for the U.S. Mint. They had to go up against Congress. They were non-compliant to meet the standards of their Eagles. They had to make the emergency 1 million mintage supply from the San Francisco Mint at the end of the year. And that was because they were outsourcing their coins and they weren't making them in-house anymore, right? They were at the mercy of other mints like Sunshine Mint. And there's a law that the U.S. Treasury cannot pay above spot price to purchase these things, where other mints like Perth Mint and others can pay above spot price. So Sunshine Mint does not want to sell to the U.S. Mint if they can only get spots. So they're more eager to sell to other places, and that's what happened. That same thing would be happening. It is happening here. We need mines, and we need to be able to get our silver from America, not at the mercy of our enemies. That's very bad. And this isn't even just talking about silver. This is everything, right? This goes much deeper than silver. This is everything. All goods and services. We should not be reliant on China. But anyways, so this new bill would expand the critical minerals list, adding boron, copper, lead, silver, phosphate, and more, and clarify that the extraction of ore, not just processing or refining ore, qualifies for the tax credit when done on U.S. soil. Now that's interesting because I actually just also interviewed Chris Batala, which is from the CEO of Oceanic Iron Ore, and they're from Canada, around the Golden Triangle, around like BC, Canada, in that area, but they are working with iron ore. So it seems like a lot of, and these companies are reaching out to channels like me to spread the word. And I think that the government is heavily invested in trying to fix this problem. And it's not going to work immediately. I think it takes up to 10 years to get a mine up and running, but we are at least starting. We're at least starting. So the bill also removes a penalty of metallurgical coal used to make steel. Currently, credit is capped at 2.5%, far below what other minerals receive. So the United States should not have to depend on foreign adversaries for the minerals that power our economy. Exactly. Support our national defense and underpin modern technology. Exactly. Their bill makes sure that the tax code recognizes the full cost of American mineral production and gives domestic producers a fair opportunity to compete with heavily subsidized, artificially propped up foreign supply chains. And Daines added it's time to unleash America's natural resources to power the economy and strengthen national security. Especially, and I called this, folks, in my book that I released on Christmas of last year. The first line of my book, or not in my book, but the first line of the chapter, Silver Wins Wars, is, he who owns the gold makes the rules, but he who owns the silver wins the war. And that a large part of that chapter was talking about the military's involvement with silver and how dangerous it is when there's a massive silver shortage already happening and, we're at the mercy of our enemies to get a lot of this silver. And now you see that literally happening. It's almost like they read my book and like it all clicked and like, holy crap, Silver Slayer was right. We need to start acting on this. And then they passed all this. And then they must have read my chapter in the book talking about the Comex, and that's why they just passed the Silver Act a couple months after my book. Dude, it's crazy. It's like they read my book and they started acting on all of this. And right after my book dropped, silver went to the highest price it's ever been by far. Isn't that crazy? Like, my book dropped, and within that, as soon as it dropped, silver literally exploded. Like, as soon as it dropped, my book came out on Christmas Day. So my book dropped, silver exploded, the Silver Act, actually, and then silver gets added to the critical minerals list. Then you have the Silver Act, and now you have all of this as well. It's crazy. It's almost like they read my book. Now, obviously, I'm joking, folks. Obviously, they didn't read, but I have to say that. Obviously, I'm joking, but some people cannot take a joke. You know, it'd be crazy, though, is if they did. I mean, David Morgan did write the foreword. But anyways, I know they didn't. But yeah, now Florida adds gold and silver as legal tender. Now we should, we should add like cloud applauding in the background of me saying that, woo. And it's just one more. I need to get, what's his name? From Sound Money Defense League. Dude, what is his name? I'm having a brain fart right now. I had him on before as well, and he just was on someone else's channel too. Dude, what is his name? He's from Sound Money Defense League. But anyways, I need to get him on because he goes around all 50 states and tries to push this in front of each state in their legislation. It's very, very interesting, and that dude has a lot of stories, and he's been very successful with this as well. I think there was 6 or 7 different states that he got to pass this, and now just more. And he was heavily involved in the Silver Act as well. So I need to get him on my channel again. I cannot remember his name. I know exactly what he looks like, and I know what he works for, but I cannot think of his name for the life of me. I'll remember it as soon as, I'm done with this video. But anyways, yeah, this is the actual bill from Florida. So the bill ratifies rules promulgated by, that's a weird word, promulgated by the Department of Financial Services and the Office of Financial Regulation and Order. This designates qualifying gold and silver coins legal tender to take effect. The bill repeals Section 18, Laws of Florida, which repeals provisions, so if the rules are not ratified. So yeah, Florida has now added gold and silver as legal tender. The bill may have to indeterminate fiscal impact on the private sector. Indeterminate. Anyways. Oh, here we go. So the rules are described as low. Defines, quote, custodian of gold and silver coin to have the same meaning as under Florida statutes. Defines is deposit or share insurance as insurance afforded by either Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, National Credit Union, Share Insurance Fund. Anyways, yeah, it's interesting. I will link all this. I know this is a long video. I will link all this, all of these different bills in the comment section. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember to recap, we have the Precious Metals Parity Act, we have the Critical Mineral and, what is it called? The Critical Mineral and Extraction Tax Parity Act, and then we also have Florida adding gold and silver as legal tender. Anyways, folks, hope I earned your subscription. Remember the game. If you guys did not know about these 2 bills, then you got to subscribe. And if you didn't know about Florida also now adding gold and silver, then you have to subscribe and like the video. I love you all. Thank you so much for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. See you guys tomorrow. Peace.